Baron Bradford. Colt may have to play guard next year to push Dotson. There's offensive tackle and center I'm excited to discuss with y'all. JJ gonna have another chance to play with his bros, and TB may lose some very good cornerbacks. Maybe we talk about this after a few playoff wins.
Ooh, you speak my
There's a lot
language.
in what he just said right there. I
Yeah.
do think the JJ Watt to Steeler thing could happen this offseason. I think the
Now,
timing will
now, wait
actually
a
be
minute now,
right
Deke.
this time.
I have a question on Deke. When he
Okay.
chose to go to Arizona, I remember you saying he chose
What did
money
I
over
say?
family,
He
and
definitely
we
did.
and we don't ever want him. He don't need to come back here. The door's
Not
closed.
in his contract. No, because
Oh
there were
no,
talks about us
I was
trading
just
for him.
I
I
was
don't
just
want him at that
wondering. I
contract.
was just wondering. I thought the door was closed. So this is not. This is like a revolving door. Then it's not like a lock. It's not like a. I can't get in.
Yeah, now we don't have to deal with that
Okay.
cap hit
Okay.
anymore.
So now
Think
that
about where he's at
it
in his
works.
career. He's 2 years removed from that now. He is probably viewed more as a third guy. We got Highsmith elevating a little bit. TJ's
Okay.
already here. They talked
Okay.
about wanting to play with the brothers, the Watt brothers. Hey, Derek Watt, he's even shown me some stuff. Bring him back too. Why
Okay.
not?
Okay.
I
Okay.
think JJ Watt could be that perfect third guy we're looking for
Okay.
on a cheap
Okay.
contract too, because
What,
it's the
what's
TJ
a cheap?
discount.
What is a cheap contract for JJ Watt? We thought JJ Watt was signed a cheap contract and then he signed for 20 mil, or was it
This is 2
18?
years removed. This
And
is 2 years removed though. I think it
so
was 15. I think it was in the
oh, all
15
right,
range.
it was in the teens. It was definitely in the teens.
It
Yeah,
definitely was in the
it was in the
teens. You're
teens,
right.
bro. Yeah, and we were looking at that like at this stage, you're doing that? No. Yeah, I mean,
I was right
oh,
on my Deontay call. Let me throw it
oh,
out
I
there.
got a question for you then.
Five
If you,
mil.
I got a question then. If you could pick between one or the other, you rather have JJ Watt next year or Larry Ogunjobi?
Ogunjobi.
Okay, just checking.
JJ Watt would be a luxury edge rusher. He'd be a luxury piece to the defense. Ogunjobi would be a solid starter. We already have Highsmith and TJ. I'm talking about our third rusher.
I was just checking, man. I didn't know. I didn't know where you were putting him into what level and all that other stuff. Okay. Fair
Dude,
enough.
but think this is how many stud edge rushers career paths whenever they start hitting their 30s
Mm-hmm.
of where they go to teams and then they just become a piece where they'll play 30% of the snaps, but they're
Yeah.
like that third guy, third edge rusher, and they'll come in on passing downs
Mm-hmm.
and just get after the quarterback. I think
I
that could be a
mean,
perfect fit for both parties.
sure on paper, I just don't think it's as simple as that. I think like when you talk health concerns, he has a crazy injury history. I also think okay, you're going to be bringing him in to play exclusively as a nickel edge rusher, right? Because we talk about our base 3-4, you would have to stand up. He would probably bump in to play 5 technique, which is why I asked about the Larry Ogunjobi part because I'm like he would be doing a little bit more of that and more of like the louder milk stuff than he would necessarily doing like the stand up outside linebacker in our defense.
Like
So
Malik Reed.
right. So it's like do we bring him in to just exclusively play 4-3 DN when we go to nickel package? Or are you going to have him playing a bigger role where it's, yeah, you're out there on first and second down as a 5 technique, like what Tuitt has done, talked about Larry Ogunjobi and company, Chris Wormley. But then when we go to our small ball, now we put you out there as that third guy to sub with TJ and Highsmith. That's all. I was just trying to see what that. I just think it's a little bit more. I think it's more moving pieces with that than just man bring him as the third rusher, you know. But I
Okay.
mean JJ, we know who JJ is in terms
Just
of
as a
the
guy to have
history
then,
of
though.
him.
Even with you
Yeah,
saying that, it could just be a versatile piece then.
you know, I
Are you viewing him still as a starter? Is that what it is?
no, that's the thing though. Like I don't know if he's not viewing himself as a starter though. So if he
Okay.
thinks of himself as a starter, what you're trying to talk, I'm like, how is this any different than the Melvin Ingram situation? We brought in Melvin as the third rusher, as that guy mid like smaller term contract, and it's like, hey, this is the situation here. And we saw what that looked like, and I'm like, Melvin was nowhere even close to like JJ's star level, and you know how he's been able to be a starter for everywhere that he's played at. I don't know, man. That's just a lot. And we're talking about at least 10 mil, at least 10 mil less to come here to 8 man play for 5 too, because your brothers. I don't know. It seems like a lot, but I'm hoping I could be wrong though, man. I could be.
The timing's better this time around. I think
Okay.
it makes even way more sense because at that
Yeah.
point, TJ was still TJ Watt, but he wasn't depoy TJ just yet.
Okay.
TJ is in the prime of his career. He is established as the best edge rusher in
Mm-hmm.
the league. Whereas then he was still trying to get out of his brother's shadow a little bit more.
Is he out of his brother's shadow?
Yeah, I'd say so. Right
Okay.
now, I don't know in terms of all time status. No, I
This
mean,
this season,
JJ
yes.
still has way
That's what
more
I was
hardware.
saying. Yeah, that's why I was like all the time. I don't think he's out of the shadow, but this season, yeah, he we know who TJ is.
Yeah,
TJ got
after
his own
last
name
year,
now.
I don't think it's
Yes,
any debate.
yes. I'm with you.
Like
TJ
he has
definitely.
emerged as the
Yes.
better of the Watt brothers. I mean, I think he was the better of the Watt brothers
Yeah.
at the time too,
Yeah.
but it's still the
He didn't have the
lingering
hardware to
JJ
go with
Watt
it.
where he
Yeah.
had the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, could he actually still get back to that point?
Yeah.
I'm talking about JJ even
Right.
after
Right.
the injury. So yeah,
Because
I
at
just think it's a way
times,
better time.
and that's the thing, even JJ in Arizona, at times he did flash, or he does flash, right? We're like, okay, this looks like vintage JJ, but then the other times it's like, all right, this isn't vintage JJ, but that is that fine line when you're talking about superstars as they start to age. When is it, all right, you're pulling the plug on this guy too soon versus, all right, man, you let this dude stay in that star light a little bit too long. Maybe he needs to go back to being a little bit, like you said, that third rusher, right? More rotational role. So that's all, man. I just, I don't know him personally, so I don't know his energy towards that type of scenario. But after the Melvin Ingram situation, I just like, it just seems like we're gonna be in that path. Yeah.